Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rise. We're back here at Crown Hyundai in St. Petersburg, Florida, and guess what? I have that redesign of a popular midsize SUV right here next to me, and it's the top dog trim. This is it. This is a 2026 Hyundai Palisade. This particular one is the Calligraphy, but it's also the one with all-wheel drive on top of that. But before we get into what is called creamy white of a Palisade, let's talk about what's going on here. So if you have been paying attention to Raiti's Rise, which I know you have, you would know that Hyundai has really done a heck of a job surprising the heck out of the whole automotive industry. They really have a lineup of vehicles today that kind of cover everybody's wants and needs, and they're still trying to do it at a price point that undercuts the competition. Now, when it comes to luxury, a lot of people wouldn't think about Hyundai, but Hyundai has this trim called Calligraphy, where they try to break the boundaries, break through to where those luxury brands are, and keep it at it's like an attainable price point. So what I want to find out is, if you're looking for a luxury spec crossover SUV that has 3 rows, you don't want to break the bank, and you want a vehicle that really is a game changer, is this Palisade Calligraphy SUV of the year that you should be buying? Why don't we go ahead, let's dive into this one and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, creamy white. It is a bright white, but it's got a ton of pearlescent metal flake to it. So Lori's gonna zoom in and show you just how it sparkles like a diamond in the hot Florida sun. We have that new look, redesigned, that stacked daytime running lamp. This is also your turn signal. Very interesting style that they did, and I've never seen lighting elements as large as these are. And then as we work our way down, you're gonna get some nice flat aluminum style trim with our headlights hidden away in that massive housing. And then you get a blending of some gloss black with some more of that metallic flat silver, and of course the body color, that creamy white. But let me know what you think about the look so far of this SUV. Does it look more luxury spec than the previous generation? Let me know in the comment section. Now, as we come across that front grille, horizontal bars, nice aluminum finish. You do have that lighting in the upper grille portion, forward-facing camera, and everything is functional from top to bottom. A little bit of gloss black, nothing too crazy, some of that silver trim. And then you'll notice the gloss black, these doors actually open and close, and they put some decorative trim on them because this is the Calligraphy level. You could go SEL, you could go limited. This is the top dog, and that's why they really wanted to make sure that they looked at every detail of this new Palisade. But let me know what you think about the face of it compared to the previous generation and compared to the competition. As we rise up, that Hyundai badge, nice and flush, that creamy white. I can't even open up my eyes. It's popping in the Florida sun. Nice big broad hood. I think that's the one thing that I like is I'm glad they didn't round this whole thing, because I think it would have killed the style. Nice to have more of a flat roof with the way that they styled the front end. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with wheel and tire setup? You got the biggest, the baddest wheels, 21 inches in diameter. You can see the aluminum, machined aluminum finish with the gunmetal metallic gray on the inner spokes. Very decorative wheel, but it also stands out. Let me know what you think about the wheel. Tires are gonna be 265 on the width, 45 series sidewall. It's front wheel drive base, but it will send power to the rear wheels because we have that H-Track all-wheel drive. And then looky, somebody has sprayed the creamy white around the fender openings to make it all cohesive. And that's what's nice about Calligraphy. Everything's gonna be painted. Now, notice the indentations. It's like somebody took a hammer and just went like that style. It really gives it a good identity. Coming down the side, you do have power folding mirrors. Obviously, we have the vehicle unlocked, so they're extended. 360-degree cameras, some gloss black, and then that creamy white. Like the way that they black out the A-pillar. And then from the side of the vehicle, it actually grows about 2 inches in length. And the wheelbase is also longer as well. You do have those nice aluminum raised roof rails, aluminum trim only along the top, gloss black on the bottom portion of the doors. And then look, everything painted white except some of that flat aluminum finish along the lower portions of the sills where the doors are. But I'm really liking where they did the indentations. It really helps, gives it some character. Now coming towards the rear, you got a nice large quarter window. That's going to give us more cargo space because of the little extra length. That aluminum, nice to not have gloss black everywhere. So we have that aluminum style. Taillights, all LED, no old-fashioned Thomas Edison light bulbs, especially on a calligraphy trim. And then from the back, it looks very luxury-esque because it's super clean. Not only do you have your long roof spoiler, you got your wiper tucked underneath, and we do have a digital rear view mirror. That's what that camera is for in the spoiler. I like the way they went with the nice aluminum style on all the letters and the badging. And then working your way down, you do have H-Track, not 8-track, that's something different. H-Track, which is Hyundai's all-wheel drive. My big zonk is, especially on the calligraphy, I want my exposed exhaust. I feel like back when I was a kid, it was all about I want my MTV. Now I want my exposed exhaust. I mean, it's clean, it looks nice. I just think a quad tip exhaust really would set this thing off very nicely, but that's where the exhaust is tucked underneath. At least it's not dangling down just in the wind. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our all-new calligraphy all-wheel drive Palisade. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. Now, you're going to have choice of engine, believe it or not, and both of them are new. V6, naturally aspirated, or a hybrid power plant. We have the V6, naturally aspirated, 3.5 liters, so it's a new V6. The old V6, if you know your Palisade history, is a 3.8 liter V6. It's pumping out 287 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an updated 8-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 in about 6.4 seconds. You could tow up to 5,000 pounds. MPGs around 19 in the city, 25 on the highway. And then, like I said, longer Palisade means more room. But nice to see that they're still offering a V6 where some of the competitors are going to 4-banger turbos. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up the V6 and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are in it to win it inside this 2026 creamy white, I know you love the name of that color, Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy all-wheel drive. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, if I'm going to get a crossover SUV, I'm always going top trim. This one seems to have a lot of what I want, but how much is it? Very good question. MSRP for this particular one is right at $58,000. Quite a bit of money, but I think you're going to be shocked by what Hyundai is bringing, especially on the luxury side of things. But let's stop the chit-chat. Let's get down to business. To the door panels. Absolutely love the simple style. Nice soft touch material, some stitching, the bright silver where the door handle is, no gloss black. And then down below you have enough room for, I would say, one of those Whoppers brisket burgers, maybe a small fry and a Pepsi to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, look at how far everything is styled. You get real wood trim, nice wood finish, no veneer on it. You have your Twinkie tray, put your baker's dozen of Twinkies down below. And then you slide on in, we have the Bose premium sound system. So you're going to start off with the 12.3-inch infotainment system screen. Full touchscreen as before. You can go through a little small cornucopia of information on the right. Plus, you have all of those familiar apps and icons. We could go into seats. You can make all your adjustments to the seats with each row turning on the seat heaters. Remember, this vehicle, the third row, also has seat heaters as well. And then we go back to ventilation. For the mid row, you could turn on the ventilation. So if your kids are like, I want you to turn on my ventilation, I'm hot. You could be like, shut your mouth, I just turned it on. That's what my dad would say to me. Shut your mouth or I'm gonna give you something to cry about. Or you could even control the seats because we have power 3 rows all the way across. Back to where we started, I do a little bit more swipe action. What do we have going on here? You got your dash cam. So new for 2026, you could have, it's already pre-wired up and you could have it on while you're driving. When motion is detected while you're parked, all those nice, easy setup features, we could even go live. So here we are live at Crown Hyundai where we're filming and actually show you the nice clarity of the cameras. So really, really cool to be able to have that built in. This is, I think eventually this technology will be in all vehicles in the future, mark my words. Then we go, you can keep swiping all the way just to show the apps. And then I'm gonna go back to setup. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit cluster head-up display. You can actually change the cluster theme. So Lori's gonna show you the theme as we have now. This is called modern. You could do simple, if you're a simple kind of person, there's your simple, or you could do classic. Like if you like classic Coca-Cola. I'm going classic. I actually really am digging the classic style. And you can also make adjustments to the head-up display as well, which is great. And then we're right back where we started. There's those Bose speakers throughout this whole vehicle. Nice Alcantara on the A-pillars. And then coming back to where we're at, we go into reverse. Camera quality, so beautiful. I mean, look at it. And it's creamy white, just like you always wanted. Boom. We have our electric shifter here. Push in for park. You got your start-stop button. Easy access. And then love the way they kind of mimic the wood trim on the controls. You got your different modes. I'll show you this when you come to the business side of things, and terrain mode because we have all-wheel drive. TFT display with your dual climate control. Look how nice that is. Real nice controls. Ventilated seats, heated seats, 3 stages apiece, heated steering wheel. And then down below, it's all about space, right? You have a place where you can put a couple egg rolls, going to your favorite Chinese food restaurant. You got your 12 volt. We got your little journal. This is your Hyundai journal, so you could write about all your adventures in your Hyundai Palisade. Today I picked up the kids, and my youngest one crapped themselves in the car, and I had to clean it up. Now that's a memory you'll want to write down the journal and then share it with them when they bring over their first boyfriend or girlfriend, and that will really make them very pale. But you have enough storage area down here for your journal, plus a purse, a merce. You can even put a 5-pound bag of apples down there. Golden Delicious, Granny Smith, Red Delicious, although the Red Delicious are not very delicious, they're usually mushy. I like a nice Cosmic Crisp. USB-Cs, you got 3 of them. Wireless charging, 2 cup holders. The Hyundai badge key fob. See the H? Nice. That soft touch, the stitching, bombs away. You have enough room in there easily for one of those KFC pit stop boxes. Get a couple pieces of chicken, a biscuit, even those little cherry pie bites. Seats, the leather, calligraphy name embossed, nice trim design, full electric assist, plus massage for the passenger and the driver. And you also can put it into go to sleep mode. So if you want your passenger to shut up and go to sleep, you could put them to sleep by the special controls of the seat. And you could even extend the lower leg rest here, which is nice as well. So nice to have that flexibility with all the controls. And what's great is I could control it from the driver's seat, which is kind of nice as well. So nice to have that chauffeur seat experience. Come on in. You do have a split sunroof, so don't get upset that this isn't a panoramic sunroof. You have a standard sunroof here, but then you have a glass roof for your mid-row and third-row passengers, Alcantara all over the place, and a digital rearview mirror. This car has been sitting there since we started filming. It's either somebody I owe money to, which there's nobody I owe money to, or maybe some paparazzi. I don't know. They're very suspicious. But why don't you go ahead? We talked about most of this interior up front. Come over to the business side where you'll be the captain of this ship in this new Palisade. Hi guys, business time. Behind the wheel, this calligraphy trim. You do have 2 memory seat settings. And like I said, both seats are massage. Down below, look at all the seat controls. Even the way you could just push this button, and look at how you have that little hammy. It's almost like nestling my calves. Talk about being comfortable while you're driving. You even have that Palisade aluminum sill plate. My only zonk is, I wish that it would illuminate ambient lighting. That's the one thing that, if you're gonna zonk something so far, that's definitely a zonk. But I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here. You got your leather wrapped steering wheel with the 2 different types of leather. Nice aluminum style trim, flat black on the switchgear. Still can't stand this with the stupid Morse code. Come on. What's going on? My name isn't Samuel Morse. It would be nice to have just the letter H. You do have paddles behind the wheel to go up and down that 8-speed automatic. Manual tilting telescoping wheel. That's a zonk in a $58,000 midsize SUV. I would want a power tilting and telescoping wheel. But you do have that beautiful 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. We could go into our different modes. Look at all of them. Even my drive. Set it up exactly the way you want. And then when it comes to all-wheel drive, we do have terrain. And you look at all the different modes you have in there. Snow, mud, sand, those types of things for that off-road experience. Plus, on top of that, we have our blind spot cameras. That's one of the best pieces of technology ever. Love that. And a head-up display. So they got you covered when it comes to information. But why don't we get into the mid-row and third row and see if your passengers are going to enjoy the seating position and all the amenities in this Palisade. All right, guys, who says a Hyundai can't be luxury? Check it out. We do have full power assist for the mid-row passenger seats. That, to me, is freaking fantastic. And look at the way you could go into that nice, like, mode here to move everything out of the way. All power assist, just like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead, hit the button, and it's gonna move it right back. So it actually moves pretty quickly for it being full electric. Now my big zonk, it's half a zonk, is I wish they would just increase this a little bit larger for the captain's chair armrest. You do have nice pockets back here. You could put a couple Annie Ann's pretzels. Talk about luxury. Nothing says luxury more than going down the road in a Palisade chomping on an Annie Ann's pretzel while you got the ventilated and heated seats on, because these seats in the mid-row are heated and ventilated. USB-Cs, love the way you have the controls, chauffeur style, to move the seat if you're sitting behind the passenger. In the back here, you do have a home power source. I like the way it's nice and high and up out of the way. And then down below, talk about a snack drawer. Put your Pringles in there, maybe some Fritos, some Cheetos, some Doritos. That all rhymes. Seats, comfy as can be, especially with the power assist. I don't know if Lori could show, but when you go into your different modes, it actually has different ambient lighting. So right now I'm in sport mode, and that's why the ambient lighting is red. I just wish some of the other things would illuminate. But the manual security shades, the sunshades are nice. You got the Bose sound system speakers, everything out of the way. Of course, it's sliding and reclining. And even though I told Lori we weren't going to do this in one shot, I'm the type of person I like to live life on the edge. So to get into the third row, easy peasy, like I showed you before, lemon squeezy. Once it gets out of the way, I'm going to hop back there. If you know the name of that 80s theme song for a TV show, you and I could be very good friends. But sitting back here, it's not the most comfortable, but watch this. You ready? Slide the seat back. Oh boy, look at that. What? And you can see how much it actually goes back compared to where the rest of the seat is. And don't forget, Lori's gonna swing around and show you, here's your controls for your ventilated seats, your heated seats, that's for the mid-row, and you have your AC controls. Talk about easy access. I do really like that. Behind this Alcantara sunshade is that glass roof, and third row has heated seats. No ventilated seats yet. I'm sure it's coming eventually, but we have heated seats in the third row and USB-Cs. Come on. BMW, take that. Audi, come on. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the cargo area and see what the heck we could stuff in this Palisade. All right, guys, cargo area time. We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Hit the button, nice electric assist, rises up. You're gonna be greeted to almost 20 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Now, I'm gonna pull up this headrest so that it's even Steven on the third row. You fold down the third row. To get that done, you're gonna hit the buttons right here. So we're gonna go ahead and slide it on down. Nice one touch. Look, Mom, no hands. That's gonna fold down. That's gonna give you about 43 cubic feet of space. Fold down the mid row. That's gonna give you 86 cubic feet of space. And it's all done with the switch gear, which is great. Easy access. And so you could choose whether you want second row or third row. Real easy to do. And then they do give you a 12 volt, which is nice. Now on top of that, Lori's gonna show off how in that third row you have your USB-Cs and you do have power reclining seats and heated seats for the third row. There's some big money luxury brands that don't give you heated seats for the third row. I feel like Hyundai is gonna be the first to bring ventilated third row seats. Then all the other manufacturers won't have a freaking leg to stand on why their vehicles don't have them. But enough about that chit chat. If you're ready, I'm ready. Get your special writing pen. We're gonna jump in this calligraphy, practice our cursive, and see how the on throttle goes. So let's get in the Palisade and do it. All right, guys, we are inside this 2026 Hyundai Palisade, this being the calligraphy trim. On throttle, here we go. So the 8-speed drops down, and then we're off and running. Now, with the updated torque converter, it actually shifts a lot smoother, which is nice. And right away, you're gonna love the redesign of this interior. I mean, let's just be real here. They've really checked off every freaking box you could think of, from the Bose premium sound system, massage seats, heated seats, ventilated seats, and then everything is easily accessible. Of course, you have that new 3.5 liter V6, gives you linear torque delivery. And when we look at a lot of the competitors going to 4-cylinder turbos, it just, for those who don't want to go that route, it's nice to have some options. I love the head-up display, especially the way it shows me my blind spot monitoring, my lane keep assist, of course the speed that I'm going. And then you got the blind spot cameras, which I am shocked more brands do not utilize that. Seats are comfortable, they're supportive, they've changed the type of cushion that they have inside the seat for your body. And then, like I said, just everything well laid out. Now, the auto start stop is on. If you want to turn off, it's real easy. Right on the driver's side, left of the steering wheel. And then, of course, you got your AC controls, easy to get to. Love the feel of the leather. Can't stand the Morse code, but everything else just really comes together nicely inside this redesigned Palisade. You do have the paddles on the back of the wheel if you want to shift with the paddles. And then we have our different modes, which is easily accessible with that new toggle switch. I'm glad that they freed up a lot of the area on the center console. That really does a good job with giving you tons of room. But let's put it back into sport mode. Nobody's behind us right now. And then we're gonna go on throttle. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Now, of course, you're not gonna win any drag races, but like I said, linear torque delivery, you do have that 5,000 pound towing capacity, which is nice. makes this really usable. But one thing I want you to notice, I'm gonna shut up for a second here, is how quiet it is. Very smooth, good sound deadening material, good acoustic glass. They really upgraded the overall environment on the interior. And it's very easy to drive, which is great. I'm driving it on this ripped up pavement here just to show you how nice the ride quality is. Remember, we have those 21-inch wheels. Look at that. Unbelievable on how smooth everything is. I'm gonna put it back into normal mode. Love the instrumentation, how you could change it up very, very easily. And the way the hood is shaped gives you perfect visual references for where the corners of the front of the vehicle are. And then of course with the 360 cameras, parking this thing is gonna be a cinch, even if you have to back it into a spot. Gonna be a cinch. You can hear the lane keep assist doing its thing. Turn on the massage. You hit the button right on the top of the door where your memory seat settings are, and that's when you could activate the massage controls. Doing a comfortable stretch right now. Really, really well done though. Very impressive. I mean, last generation Palisade was impressive when they first launched it, but this one's just been elevated to a new level. And I think they did a great job on the styling, not making it look too funky with weird geometric shapes like the current Tucson is. I just can't believe how well this thing drives. How quiet it is. You got 3 rows of power seats. That's incredible. But I'm glad that we had the opportunity to get behind the wheel of this calligraphy trim and show off all the goodies that Hyundai's bringing for 2026. We're gonna get back to Crown Hyundai and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day here at Crown Hyundai. Definitely got to thank Casey, the rest of the crew, getting us the very first calligraphy trim in this creamy white. Just literally sprayed all over it. Nice to have access to this all new crossover SUV redesign, but let me know what you think. This is the luxury trim, but is this SUV of the year for 2026? Let me know your thoughts down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Reds family. Gotta give it up to Latte Lori. Thank God she has the cold brew because I'm about to pass out. I've lost about 20 pounds worth of water weight just from sweating out here. But Lori is busting her butt and she's staying as cool as possible. So thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.